Welcome back to the Bad Blood Podcast, everybody. Today we've got an absolute belter for you, Ben Hatchett. But first, I would like to introduce a couple of sponsors: ScotWest Shellfish, Lookin Barbers, Rejuvenate with Rachel, Fueler Designs, Mr. Bloom's Black Seed Oil Mechanics, and we've got a new one coming on board, BFBA, Barefists Boxing Association. So yeah, that's just to get it off the belter. Ben, how are you, my man?
Satin, Bob, are you good?
Yeah, I'm good, my brother. Yes, my man, it's good to finally get you in person.
I appreciate having you on, man.
Yeah, man, it's balling to get you on, my brother. Let's get straight into it.
Let's do it, mate. Straight into the deep end. Let's go.
Into this one, my
Let's
brother.
Go.
Straight into it. Why did you turn down this Channel 5 documentary?
Why did I turn it down?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck it, oi!
Oh, straight in for it.
Straight in.
No messing about here.
I say money, but it wasn't just about money. It was the principle behind the money. They like, you know, like they got to shoot there today. They got to get paid. The cameraman gets paid. The people, the civilians they're going to get on is going to get paid. You know, they want me to film for my story, but I'm not going to get paid, but everyone else is getting paid.
Yeah, no, man.
Do you know what I mean? And the thing is in them as well, they can take whatever out of context and this, that, the other, innit? So it was just sort of like, doing a documentary. I've got my own documentary coming on, like, do you know what I mean? A lot of people out there, oh, you'll be on Channel 5, 15 minutes, jumping at it, like, bro, I don't give a shit about all that, do you know what I mean? Like I said, you know what I care about is inspiring your generation to go and do good, like, it's a positive, chase your dreams, like, you know, I don't need to sit on Channel 5 and talk about Broadmoor. I could just open up, you know, on my channel I can talk about that, do you know what I mean? Or I can come on channels and support and talk about my story. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
so that kills me next question, and of like, you plot to hold Ian Brady.
Why are you Brady? Yeah, well, you know, I said that on the James English podcast, didn't I?
Yeah,
like,
you did.
But I've come out and said since, so yeah, the higher profile person I was going to take us, well, allegedly was going to take us. Well, I say allegedly, I did 9 months segregation for it, you know what I mean? It's fucking alleged about it, is it really? You know what I mean? It's having right, isn't it? Yeah, 9 months Ian Brady, that's you know, they accused me of, they never took me to court, they never charged me, they kept me 9 months segregation in Ashworth. That's what you can do in them places, you know, they're a world of their own, mate, they're a world of their own, they make the rules like to go along, the doctors are gods there, you know, they're isolated from the world, they make the rules up, and that's what they did, 9 months segregation, just of conversation, we were just joking about, you know, how we were taking hostage. Yeah.
From there.
From there, 9 months later, I mean.
From plotting that to then talking to Shannon Briggs.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Shannon Briggs shouting out. Yeah, big up Shannon shouting out.
Let's go, Shannon.
Yeah, man, big up Shannon, Joe Egan and all that shouting out, helped me for my parole getting out. So appreciate all the support, all the big fish and that did for me, man. Appreciate it.
How crazy was that? Like, how crazy was that in the riot?
What, the riot?
How it spill the beans.
I don't regret it. I regret it because there's a lot of things I've done because you know, I try to live positive and you know I say to a lot of younger ones, you know what I mean, about chasing your goals, your dreams.
Yeah, but
why I don't regret that in Broadmoor? Why I don't regret it? Because of what they was doing was wrong, and it's a fact. You know what I mean? Because like things after what happened that night, there's been a lot of changes. Guidelines have changed in that place. You know, they tried to cover that night up. Do you know what I mean? They tried to cover it up, they tried to play it down. There was an article, even that article's been removed in the now. But I still got the paperwork on it, so it's all good. Do you know what I mean? Don't worry. The Amazon Prime is all come out, you know what I mean? So I hope you get onto your paperwork, don't worry, you'll settle soon enough, don't worry. That's why I don't buy it. But listen, what they did, they tried to cover that up, yeah, so there was nothing, they tried to play it down, this, that, the other articles, there was never this, that, the other, but I still got the paperwork from the night. You know, police had to come in, what they was doing was so wrong, they was like, they call it a hospital, yeah? You go to therapy. Bruv, you need therapy when you come out of that place. Do you get what I'm saying? You can't call that place a hospital. You can't call that therapeutic. You need therapy when you come out of it.
Yeah.
What that ward, that Epsom ward we was on, would break anyone. Do you get what I'm saying? You tell me, you go back, people said to me the option now, and it's a hand on heart. You go back on Epsom wards, or would you go out and fight in fucking Syria, wherever they're fighting now? Oh, fucking load me up, man, I'm going there, bro.
Tell us a day's routine in that ward.
No, well, you're just locked up most of the day. You come out a couple of times. You're on a ward, you're on a mixed diagnosed ward. That means you've got paranoid schizophrenics, you've got the MI and the personality, PD, so personality disorder and mental illness. So I was classed as personality disorder, I was classed as antisocial personality disorder. But under the PD, it's under an umbrella. So you got like the narcissists and that, which are the psychopaths. Now they're the cunts. I didn't mind the MI lot, the mental illness lot, yeah, they're the schizophrenics and that, yeah. Most of them actually honest, nice people, but it's the, like you're saying, it's the voices and all that in their head that are very dark, that can actually trigger and make them, you know, quite unpredictable. But the psychopaths are very conniving.
Right.
Very manipulating. They're the dangerous ones. Remember, I wasn't a psychopath, I was just antisocial, because I thought this prison system. So you didn't know what fucking do with me in the end, do you know what I mean? This geezer's on top of roofs asking Elvis Presley impersonators. Do you know what I mean? Like, I send this cunt to Broadmoor. He's always trying to escape me, you know what I mean? So that's how I ended up there, like. But, you know, we've been with a psychopath. Put it this way, if I had a drink of water now, people, yeah? If I had a drink of water and we was like in Broadmoor, we was playing pool, the table tennis, whatever, and I drink and put that water down, we turn, walk off and all that lot, would I ever drink that water again? Would I? Fuck, mate. You see them psychopaths and that, yeah? What they do, they're like pour things into you drink and all that. They're meds, they'll save up. They're twisted people. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, they just want to, like, they want to see chaos. They want to see that sort of, they'd love to see someone sitting there choking and suffering.
Whoa.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
But that's the environment you're in. And you have to, like, be on point 24/7.
Switch
you know,
on.
it was only because I was having bare rows with these psychopath kids, that's when they moved me over to their MI ward. Because I was alright with them, I was alright with the mental lot, do you know what I mean? Like, I was sweet, and I've always been quite humbled as a person, like, naturally, I've never, like, because I come from bullying, I've never, like, tried to, like, be a bully. And I think they got onto that in the end, because the only ones I was having a row was obviously the psychopath cunts, the manipulators, the narcissists, I hated them. And they're the ones I was always causing trouble with, I was having dramas with, so yeah.
Because got heavy, real heavy.
Which got heavy there, innit?
Too heavy.
We got heavy.
So we're kicking on from that. When you were moved, how was that? How was all the whole process, everything?
I got moved, so there's 3 high secures in the country. You've got Broadmoor, Ashworth and Rampton. I did 2 of the 3 high secures. So when I got moved out of Broadmoor, I went to Ashworth, which is in Liverpool. So I went to Ashworth. All Scousers, all the staff, all Scousers. To be fair, they're alright. I said before, you know, I stay in touch with a few of them, to be fair. And Ashworth wasn't like Broadmoor. Broadmoor's hell on earth, bro. It's hell on earth, like hell on earth. Ashworth wasn't that bad. They're very patronising Ashworth. Right. You know what I mean? Staff got a lot more control than they have in Broadmoor. But it wasn't that bad. You know, I started getting to the gym, I started getting to fitness. You know, the former boxer Tony Quigley. Do you remember Tony Quigley?
Yeah.
He actually went on Billy Moore podcast. You remember that?
Well, do you want to hear a story?
Yeah, it's cool.
He actually refereed in an event that I set up.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Come on, hey, come on,
big
son.
up Tony Quigley.
Yeah,
big shout out.
But I mean, he was a staff, bro. He was a staff, mate. He was on the staff in Ashworth. Yeah.
Small world.
Because I did the Billy Moore podcast, innit? And I've always shouted Tony Quigley out. I've always, you know, because he was a staff there. He's always been. And then he went on the Billy Moore podcast. I love that. Billy even tried it. You know, I had one of your patients in it, Ben Hatchett. So yeah, Billy, you know what I mean?
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to them, man.
Right, let's talk about your fighting.
Yeah.
I really, because me, I used to do boxing. I love boxing. It's my passion. You're driving that way. How did you change your mind from your mental thinking from when you were in that institute, in that system? How did you start to think positive? What was the first thing that kicked on to many other things?
Well, I was in the segregation. I was in seclusion for a long time, and I picked up a book, The Key to Living Law of Attraction. Changed my life. Book changed my life, bro. I don't know if you know about law of attraction. You law of attraction believer?
Yeah, 100%.
Mate, it can change your life. And I'm a big advocate for it. You know, I even wrote my own book on it when I was still away, so it did really well. Like, I just feel like when I discovered that, it changed my whole mindset, bro. It's like thinking differently. You got to remember as well, like, I'm not outside when I'm reading this. I'm inside. I'm in a box, bro. I'm in a little cell. Yeah. I ain't distracted. I'm reading, absorbing and taking in and thinking. Do you know what I mean? I'm deep thinking. I'm meditating. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So when I'm setting these goals in that environment, I'm not setting goals that I want. I'm setting goals that I believed that I already had. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, we're getting deep now. But I just knew when I was like reading this book and all that, I was having these visions in my head, and I'd do all that visualization, and I was manifesting it, but I wasn't manifesting it, I had it manifesting.
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying? There's a big difference. Yeah, I had it. And I just see these visions in my head, I knew I had it. Do you know what I mean? And it just went from there, bro.
It sounds, when you try to explain it to people, they can't comprehend that. I'm in a similar situation, not as nowhere near as yours, but I'm doing something now what I envisioned like years ago. So I get that law of attraction.
So you've manifested it?
I've manifested it, and not to your height or level, but hopefully sometime it'll get to that. Do you know what I mean?
And it will. It's just got a conviction that you put behind it. Do you get inside? Like, I knew what I was going to do, but I really did. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, I've achieved it already. You know, I don't know why I chose the boxing. You know, people get on to me about the box. I've never come out as I'm the best boxer. Do you know what I mean? All I am is trying to support the sport. I love the sport.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to try and give it the best that I can. You know, realistically, am I going to be chasing belts and all that? No, I'm 32 years old. I just did a fucking license. I come and Broadmoor and that. Do you know what I mean? I ain't been in gyms and grinding and all that lot. You know, I'm not trying to disrespect the sport in any way. I've got nothing but love for the sport, and you know, I'm trying to add on to it. If I can bring crowds over that are going to start watching, then that's a job done. I want to do, you know, like I said to people before, if it was art, you know, if it was art, then I'll be painting Big Ben by now, bro. Do you know what I mean? Because I take shit to the extreme. You know what I mean? If I do something, I don't half-hearted. I'll go. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, and I just choose boxing. That's why I'm going hard for it, you know, and that's why, you know, I've gone over to the BKB, but there's a big fight coming from it now, you know, obviously I've got a fight before that. But I just feel like, you know, boxing is very different to fighting. I think it's an amazing sport. I think a lot of kids getting into it from my sort of background, and if I can advocate for it and get kids going and walking into a gym, then that's all I'm trying to do. Mine's not about trying to like what I achieve, it's more about the message behind what I'm trying to achieve. You get what I'm sort of saying?
What you can achieve when you put your mind to it.
Of course, you know, like a lot of people laughed at me and said, you know, they laughed and they never believed my vision, you know, and you'll get that yourself, bro. You know, that's why I got them 4 letters tattooed on me, you know, PTAW, prove them all wrong. Yeah. When people die, you know what I mean, if you've got that vision, your goal, that dream in your head,
go for it.
Speak that shit into existence, put that conviction in and that shit will happen, bro. Do you get what I'm saying?
Deep stuff, man.
Yeah, bro. You know, no one can, like before people used to laugh, no one laughs no more, you know what I mean? Like, when I sort of say so, I think, you know, after we did the book, after we did this, after we did the Amazon, after I did all the podcast, I think people think, yeah, shit, mate, you know what I mean? Like, he does actually do it, you know what I mean? But
how did you find it? Like, how weird was it to have a film crew around? Obviously, coming from that type of environment, wanting, as a youth, that type of appraisal, but now you've got it in a positive type of way. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
How did you find that?
I think when I was younger, when I started getting into like the crime and social, I think I was chasing notoriety, like notoriety, being like, you know, someone bad or this, all that bollocks. But I think, you know, now I'm doing it in a positive light. You are sort of still getting what you seek before, you know. But I think the message when I was on Insta, so I'll be going back on Insta soon. I think when I was on Insta, the message is getting the youth and like, you know, people watching the story and like you actually like putting seeds in heads, or you have that ripple effect. I speak about the ripple effect highly. You know, the actions, the words you say has a bigger effect. You know, and when people are listening to that and you're changing people's mindset, you change people, like people are making different decisions in their life because of something that your actions and that, you know, it's crazy, man. You know, when I had the film set in my face, I was getting filmed the first day I got out, bro. The first day, we had like a big after party in lockdown. Edit. No, but like, you know what I mean? So like, we had like a party in lockdown, because I come out in lockdown, you know? I've gone from lock up to lockdown. And I was Harvey from So Solid, I remember you said that in your live, brother. I saw that live as well. And Hatchett coming out from lockdown to, what was it, lock up to lockdown. But, so it's different, you know? It's been difficult for me as well, not being able to sort of do the basics, the driving, etc. You know, having the camera crew there and the party, you know, it was like, dreamed about it, envisioned it, you know, like when I was in high secure in a seclusion room and it was happening. But I think the most important thing is, and sometimes, you know, I struggle with, is like maybe kicking back and showing gratitude for what I already achieved, not keep going. Do you know what I mean? It's good to keep, it's good to keep going, but don't forget to sort of show gratitude, because gratitude is the key. To show gratitude for what you've already achieved so far. It
moulds you into the person you are.
Yeah, do you get what I'm saying?
Oh, 100%, of course. Because that's what sets the foundations for where, like you say, for where you are now. It built your mental state, you know what I'm saying? Sort of directs you in that avenue. Training-wise, how often are you training? Are you a big advocate of training?
Yeah, like, you know, like I said, I've been struggling, you know, I've dipped a couple of times being out, you know, because like I say, you know, from being so structured, so routine, to coming out into the world, you know, like, it's still trying to adjust. I've had a couple of like relationships that have been out there, you know.
How did you find readjusting actually? How did you find readjusting?
Readjusting?
Readjusting to...
Readjusting?
Yeah.
It's a readjusting, yeah. What kind of relationship you think I've been having, bro? Fuck is Ray? You know what I mean? Readjusting, I'm still readjusting. Yeah, straight up, still readjusting, especially now that I'm a Mrs. Share, and I love you Share, engaged now, do you know what I mean?
Congratulations.
Thank you, bro, thank you. Moving up to Scotland now, so I'm just trying to adjust there, and I'm readjusting again up to Scotland. Do you know what I mean? You know, it is difficult, bro. Like, you know, I'm terrible at emails, I'm terrible at this, because online banking, I ain't got online banking, all these things it wasn't about, so it's sort of like alien to me, so we swerve, do you know what I mean? So it's like... You're
still getting the grasp of what you've got at your power, basically, all social media wise and stuff like that. How did you stumble across the bare knuckle? How did that happen?
Bare knuckle. Paul Hills from BKB. I did a podcast with Paul. I think there's one guy from my area, I forgot his name, he got knocked out the fastest ever. And I think it was Guinness Book Records, like Paul Hills, already knocked him out the fastest time. Reached out to Paul, I think mutual friends, went up to his gym, filmed with him, been pals ever since. Like pals we talk to Dave now and then, do you know what I mean? We're like supporting each other. I went up to the gym, sort of BKB, and I thought I watched his fights, BKB, and I was sort of supporting him, so shout out Paul. And yeah, and I've got a couple of guys from my area, Charlie Milner, Dave, you know Charlie Milner from Eastbourne, big up Charlie. And Danny DeVille just made his debut, someone else I filmed with. You know, unfortunately lost, but I'm sure he'll be back. So, you know, from Hastings, no one's done it from Hastings. So, you know, I'll be the first one from Hastings to make their BKB debut. And it's like, you know, I think I did the boxing, I won the fight, got the win on the fight, I learned a lot from it. The drilling, dip, the fitness, a lot more goes into it. You know, I know there's so many pro fighters, I've trained with pros. It's all good training that in the gym. Like when you're out there in the ring itself, it's so different.
It's definitely because you've got the crowd there. Yeah. That crowd, you go into that fight and you do not expect, because a fighter's worst fear, going into the fight gassing out and getting knocked out. Yeah. You know what I mean? Not having the energy to throw back to defend yourself.
So it happens to me, bro. Like people say, get onto me about fitness now. Like, I train hard, and you know, I know levels, and I'm gonna step the levels up this time around. But I was fit that fight. But you know, I was doing the pads and that beforehand. I don't know what happened. I was so gassed. I was so gassed, bro. Like, and I remember Suicide said to me after, when he come in the ring talking in the fight, it's a lonely place in that ring, isn't it? It is. It's a lonely place. When you
it's a horrible place. That's what I'm trying to tell him. Yeah. Because he's like, I'm fit as a butch house dog. I'm like, just be prepared. Yeah, it's a different thing going into
that third round when the third round, bro, I just went, oh fuck, like that was the longest 2 minutes of my life, bro. Like, because I knew I was up, I knew I'd won. Do you know what I mean? I was confident I won. I didn't even know they are, but I was confident, and I was just swerving in the third round. I just had nothing left, bro. Especially when he dropped me in the second, I knew I had to drop in. I was lucky to drop in. You know, so I think with the bare knuckle, I think it takes obviously, you know, it takes a lot less to knock you out. Do you know, you know, it's not padded. And
it is, mind. I've witnessed it. Yeah. I've not witnessed it. Well, I have witnessed the ring, but recently I've witnessed a lot of pit fighting. Yeah. And it's just different. Yeah. Like bare knuckle is just different, man. Really is different. I think you'll enjoy it though, because it's in the ring. Minus the gloves.
That's it, man. You know what I mean? BFBA, me and BFBA, you know, we come together, they drop the contract.
I'm going to drop something else as well. We're going to wait as a podcast. We're now going to become part of the media team for BFBA. So big up Andy Bakewell. We did come out, we were Spartans, but unfortunately it was just time to leave. So yeah, we'll be doing the ring company now, so we'll be doing stuff with BFBA fighters. That's what's going to drop, so look for that at 8 o'clock. Obviously, this should...
There's no unfortunate about it. BFBA, we're taking over. Come on, Andrew, that's why they signed us. Come on, BFBA. Come on.
He said it best for you.
There you go.
Said it best for you.
Come on, BFBA is the fastest growing all around the world. Come on. Do you know what I mean? They sign all the top people. Why do you want to pick their contract people? Come on.
So we're getting on with it. Chaz Simmons. Ooh.
Who's that? Who's that mug?
Who? Oh,
I've heard his name before, innit?
Now.
Oh, Chaz All Talk.
Oh, Chaz All Talk. Right. We're firing on all cylinders, yeah. How did this come about? He says with a wry smile on his face.
Who's going to say it first, me or Chaz? Like, me and Chaz have known like, for a while. We have who's going to say it first out of us? So me and Chaz have got a bit of need, like, we've actually got a bit of beef from like, when I was away. I ain't putting it out there, yeah. I'll let you get Chaz on, innit, yeah? Do I like him? No. Does he like me? No. Do we have an issue? Yes. Yeah?
Is it getting sorted?
So yeah, he's gonna get. He's signed on the BFBA now. Yeah. When I called him out when I was signed on the BFBA gonna sign him. It's the cleverest thing to do because me and Chaz, we've both got big platforms and we're gonna bring numbers. And when we go in that ring, you know, we are gonna fight. I don't think we're gonna fight each other straight away. I think, you know, probably very early next year. We very much want to fight each other. Do you know what I mean? There's energy behind us wanting to fight each other. So you ain't when me and Chaz fight, you're not getting two people with platforms that just put together. You're getting two people that want to go out and knock each other out. Do you know what I mean? You're getting that extra it's more than a sport. Like, when we go out there, we're dropping bombs on each other. Like, you know, and we both know that when one of us win, which I know is going to be me, like the other person's not going to let that one go.
So,
especially our circle, the industry.
No rematch clause, nothing like that.
I'm retiring, bro. He's going to want a rematch after. He's getting retired. Come on, he can be rematch. I mean, and get into acting after, innit? Do you know what I mean? Find yourself in acting.
So where do you see going from that? Are you wanting to make something out of the ban, or you want is it a multi-fight deal? Is it
a 3-fight deal done with the BFBA? Do you know what I mean? I think shout out to the BFBA. I see, you know, Spike Andrew, I see exactly what they're trying to do, where they're going, and all that, like their vision and all that. Again, it's more to do with that, you know, more the vision. That, you know, they're making big moves, getting some big names on the sides. You know, that what they're doing, they're streaming like from America, Russia, all across the world. Do you get what I'm saying? So I like to be involved with something from the early days. You know. Who knows where it could be? Do you know what I mean? Like to be involved with something as it's blowing up and all that. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, put my name, stamp my name on it. You know, it's
going to gain you extra followers. It's going to work both ways. You know what I mean? You're going to get the extra support. They're going to get the extra following. Yeah, it's a match made in heaven.
It's good. That's what I mean. It's good to be part. I mean, I'm honoured to be part of the journey. You know, like just sign up and one boxing fight. Already hitting the posters. Do you know what I mean? Already hitting like papers, like who they signed before, I don't know, do you know what I mean? We're coming here, so we're making, it's good to be part of it, do you know what I mean? And like, you know, I'm not just doing it for the sake of it, I'm not doing it for the fun of it, I'm doing it.
You really go on fully.
Yeah, bro, you know, I'm taking this serious, you know, so, and I, you know, and especially that fight, me and Chaz, I think there's going to be, you know, in this organisation, they're big in their days. I think this is going to be one of the biggest historic fights they're going to have at the beginning of their stage. You know? And I say that with confidence.
Most definitely, because of the following you bring, the following he brings, following that BFB already has, it's going to be a hit.
Exactly. Especially as early days and that as well.
Yeah.
You know, in years to come, the BFB will only ever get bigger and grow. It was only going to get bigger. And they'll, you know, one day they look back and they're like historic fights, and I know them in the casual fight. Exactly, you know, so saying to go back, you know what I mean? So yeah.
Excuse me. Are you going to be looking for any sponsors and stuff like that for like fighting and stuff? Have you got any? I've
got a couple. Like, shout out to my supplement company, Fireball. You know, very good. They was there with me like January last fight. You know, support Ben Spam. I know you know Ben from Knives Down. You know, Anti-Knife. Always support anything Anti-Knife. I need to get some more now. I know I got my friend, my manager Dave and Sandeep and that, like the Fireball, the CBDs oils and that. But you know, I'm gonna try and get some more of that. When's this going out?
This will be going out tonight.
Listen, any sponsors, get at me on Facebook. I've got room on the shorts and top, innit? You know what I mean? We do a deal.
I'll get you hooked up with a CBD company if you want.
I can't do that. I have all the things you could have said. Not CBD, I've already known it, innit?
You get
anything else, I mean, what about barbers, sharp barbers?
They'll definitely have you. Louisa will definitely have you.
There you go, Louisa, I mean. Chuck us some dough, man, get your logo
Big
on,
shout
you know what I
out,
mean?
Sharp Barbers, one of the, honestly, the best in the business, man.
Naughtiest kids in the world.
Come on.
They're one of our best sponsors. Them, ScotWest Shellfish, Mr. Bloom. They've really helped us. You know what I mean? So
that's good. That's what it's about, though, bro.
That's
what it means. Like, I know how hard the podcast can be, getting people and putting into it. A lot more when I did. A lot more went into it than coming out. So it's good. You know what I mean? That's what you need, and I think that's it. Life in general. You need to be supporting people. I did a video the other day I didn't put up. It's easy to put people down when people start speaking out of term what you believe. If people start saying things like, if you start telling people things that you want to do this, that, other. If people think they can't do it, they're quick enough to tell you can't do it. You know, and a lot of people always want to try and put people down. Do you get what I'm saying?
100%. That's why I've tried to. I mean, we've had friends who we've had on podcasts. They've had their back and forth. We've tried to stay positive throughout all this, straight down the line, take no sides. And I know you've had your beef.
Oh, I'm involved with the podcast wars, they call it. That's what they call it, the podcast wars.
You know, so you've been through it yourself. I think Paul Venice hit the nail on the head on one of his videos he did the other week. I believe it was how he was not going to be pulled into all that. He wasn't going to be pulled into sitting this channel, sitting that channel. He was just going to keep positive vibes, keep going, and doing what he does.
Just be neutral, do you know what I mean? I think, Liam Gavin, the guy at Amazon, he does YouTube and that as well, he'd film people from both sides, and, why can you call him a snake? He's not taking sides. You've got to remember why he's doing what he's doing, he's filming. A lot of us, the circle I was in with the podcast and all that, there was a lot of sides was taken and all that. But, it is what it is, but let's say keep building and keep supporting.
It's weird because in America,
it's like a street, isn't it?
It's
podcast it's the streets now. You know what I mean? We're all claiming to be reinformed, but everyone's beat. You know what I mean? It's
weird because in America, I'm huge on podcasts. They all help. They help each other. Yeah. They'll put one into the other. I've had it I've made some good friends and good contacts who I've had on the podcast. But predominantly on the UK scene and podcasts, it's
war, mate. It's war.
They want each other's throats.
You got to remember, Sean and James used to do it. And Sean out with James English, they used to do it. You know what I mean? They'd come out, innit? I won't get right into that one. You know what I mean?
Well out of my depth, well out of my depth.
They said videos, they used to help each other, innit? They used to support each other. Whatever happens. You know.
Get it firing.
Yeah, I ain't gonna get right into it. No, mate, I ain't. But it's something I was saying we did. Them two are quite, top of it. Especially James. I'm always gonna have love and respect for James, totally. Well done, James, in his fight, man. Did you watch James in his fight?
I watched his fight. Yeah, done well for his first.
Really well, wasn't
he? He done well.
Really well. I'll knock you out, James, but you done really well. I'm joking. I love him. No, he did really well, James. And hopefully, I heard he was last. I heard he was calling Mark Wright. Do you know what I mean? I think James would absolutely smash Mark Wright as well. So,
we were talking about that this morning.
Mark Wright wouldn't fight James. They ain't got the balls enough to fight James. You know what I mean? James was smashing Mark Wright all day long.
James, like I say, he done well in his
first. He's got that Scottish blood. Even though that's Irish accent, but that's Scottish blood. Big up James, man.
He's a good lad. He sets for me, he sets a boundary. He sets a standard, who he has on his podcasts, that is who we aspire. My main podcast is Joe Rogan. I watch a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I've seen a couple of Joes there.
And James, I think they're so similar.
Something to good with James, when I set off in that as well, I took a lot from mostly James. That's why I was aspiring in the podcast with, do you know what I mean? So
it's not easy. That's why
celebrities and all that. It's not easy, but
it's not easy, man.
But I wouldn't have been able to do it without James giving me that platform to begin with.
Yeah,
when,
exactly.
After the Amazon drop, probably, even though it still hasn't finished, it hasn't dropped in that, then my name would have got out there and then. But if it wasn't for James, my name would have never come out in the first place. So I'm always gonna have that respect towards James. You know what I mean? So
that's.
I might call him out after this fight.
Don't do that on this show.
I don't call. I'm not calling any more podcasts. Oh shit! That goes wrong. That goes wrong. You know what I mean?
But that's the way it is. That's the way it usually goes. It's good to build the hype up. It is, isn't it? It's good to build the hype up. It's good to get it through that way, but there's boundaries to it and limits to it. Didn't worry about the cup, man.
I see it, man.
If it was full, the studio producer would have been like, oh, the equipment. That's exactly what it'd been like. Would you like to, who helps you with your channel? Would you like to give them a mass shout out?
No, there's one guy who's really out with my channel. I know what this is, you know what I mean? And then like a lot of the videos now we've done influence with Jamie. His surname's Deaf. Jamie Deaf. What surname? No, I mean, but Jamie Deaf, you know, he was there, my manager Dave. And all the people, man, involved with the journey now, I wouldn't be here. Do you know what I mean? It's a pleasure to come down. I've seen what you're doing and that. Do you know what I mean? I hope this will get numbers and that for you and, you know, more subscribers. And, you know, keep plugging away. I think, you know, get Brian down there again. Me and Brian.
100%.
Get me and Brian on one. Do you know what I mean? Get a true, I know you do a lot of sports stuff. Maybe get a true crime with older generation, me and Brian.
I would love to do that, and I'm sure Brian would be well up for that. He would be well up for that.
And Brian, you know, we're sending all our best and love if you're recovering that, man.
1,000,000%. I did have in the car, I was meant to have the Lookin Barbers hat. I was meant to have a picture of my fight I win Morgan Jr. when he won his title. Big shout out to you, Win. And also had a picture of Brian, because just to show a little support, because he's been through a Miller recently. Had the missed his C7, I believe. Might have to go in again. So hopefully, if he does, it goes well. But the surgeries he's had come after repetitive. Only a man of Brian Cocktail's status.
No, mate, you got
only he could survive that.
Mate, yeah, mate.
You know what I mean?
We're sending the love, man, isn't it?
Sending the love big time, well, 100%. But like I said, I did say it during the podcast with Ben, we were once Spartans, but unfortunately time had to come leave. I love Spartan. I love all the fighters. I have massive respect for what they do in that ABA pit. I mean, it's brutal. It's absolutely, the adrenaline rush it gives you is unbelievable. But it just, unfortunately, times just move on, unfortunately. Another massive shout out to ScotWest Shellfish, because like I say, without your continued support through this coronavirus pandemic, we wouldn't have existed. It's as simple as that. Also, Mr. Bloom's Black Seed Oil Mechanic, fantastic guy, fantastic support, a man who actually gave us a platform to get a studio. Big shout out to AK as well, Ferguson and the lads who work at the studio. Couldn't have done it without you. It's great to be back in here. It gives it a bit of a professional feel rather than sitting in a room with crappy posters and stupid pictures in the background.
Just like how my podcast was.
Give over.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna give over. It's just good to be back. It really is. And Lookin Barbers, if I haven't already shouted you out, honestly, if you're a local listener, get there, because they've got the talent suite there as well. I believe they've got Lookin Fab there as well, which does like eyebrows and pedicures, manicures. I didn't have, because I'm not into that side of the stuff. I just love me tanning suites and me haircuts and me beard shaved. That's all I like. Trust it. But honestly, big shout out to BFBA as well. And yeah, brilliant. And that's the end of it, folks. This has been the Bad Blue Podcast with Ben Hatchett. I hope you enjoyed it. There we are.
Shout out.
Peace.
Come on.
Man.
Did it. Smashed it.
Yes, lads.
Well, good one. Yeah.